Alright, in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Ipega 9025 paired up with the Tegra Note 7 with the Apple iPad mini retina. Let me just bring it over here. So we're going to be using this on the retina display as well. And let's get right into it. So what's different about the Ipega 9025 is that this controller, unlike others, is specifically designed for tablets in that it can be extended a great deal to about 10.1 inches or so. You can fit any tablet up to 10.1 inches, such as the Galaxy Note 2014 edition or the iPad Air also. And I have tried it out on my iPad and it works really well. So looking at the controls, getting right into it, you can see that the layout is pretty standard, similar to your normal PlayStation controller, or sort of like the 360 pad, apart from the fact that the analogs are placed right above. Now this is good because when you hold the device and you're doing 3D gaming, you want your analog accessible that way, and it's easier. Even your D-pads are easily accessible, or I mean your D-pad and your A, B, X, Y buttons along with your media keys. It doesn't get difficult to hold because when you're playing your game, you have a good grip on the back. As you can see, there's a curved grip on the back, so you can hold it pretty well and you can play even your retro games. Your hands are not going to hurt. It's very light, not heavy at all, and the expandable mechanic is pretty solid. It has a lock over here, you can switch it, and it expands on both sides. This is a spring load over here, this is a lock load. So you want to get your lock load correct, and then you can just spring it anything you want inside it. So let's talk about the fit. Oh, before I go into the fit, let me give you a little bit of the details on the D-pad and the analog sticks. The analog sticks, for the most part, are pretty good. There is a bit of a dead zone issue in which it's either too sensitive or it's not sensitive enough when you're moving around. This is not really a problem in most games, but you will notice it in some FPS games, especially if you play something like Shadowgun on the Android, which is available in the Android Play Store. When you're aiming, you'll notice that you're not able to get your movement just right because the movement is, the dead zone is either too sensitive or oversensitive. But otherwise, it works okay for most stuff. Not a big issue. So the fit. This is a Tegra Note 7, as I said, and this is a 7-inch tablet. As you can see, there are beams on. There's like wedges over here with the rubber banding inside. Both sides have rubber banding wedges, and it fits pretty well. You know, it's got a good grip to it. You can just wait a second, and there you go. It fits well. There's also a flap over here if you want more support. Not that you need it. It's only useful if you have a really heavy big tablet, something like a Windows tablet. Otherwise it's not a big deal. The controls work out of the box because it uses standard HID controls, so it's not an issue. Any game that supports HID works. So let's go into something like Gunslugs, a very, very simple game. So you can see right off the bat it works, not an issue. This is one of the best D-pads I've ever used. It's a Nintendo style D-pad. The diagonals work great. The movement is very solid, very, very good. Much better than the Moga, which is completely junk when it comes to the D-pad. Very good. Does well. The keys work fine, not an issue. Let me show you a little bit of game streaming. I know a lot of people want to see that. Another cool feature that this has, it's got the L3 click and the R3 click. So these are clickable and you will have no issues while streaming your game. So let's get into Limelight, which is my program of choice. So there we have Skyrim loaded up. It works very smooth with the Tegra Note 7 despite being on a 2.4 GHz network. I have no issues. The controls work really well. All the keys, all the moves can be done. There are no issues over there. As you can see, you can fire your fireball, which is over here. Oh, sorry about that message. I'm having some interruptions with Gamestream because I have too many Wi-Fi networks over here while filming this, but it's usually not an issue. at all. It works at a solid 60 frames per second. Even though it might not look it over here, it is working at 60 frames per second. And game streaming works fine, not an issue at all. I've been enjoying playing Skyrim on this. Okay. So there you go. That's game streaming working on the Tegra Note 7 with your game controller. My controller is a bit low on the battery. So let's go into iOS before the battery runs out completely. So here we are on the iOS device, and in order for MFI to work with the Ipega 9025, you need a jailbroken iPad with a program called Controller for All, which you can download at the Cydia App Store, and it works very well. So let's load up BioShock over here. So as you can see, it works really well. The MFI aspect is completely compatible with the 925, and it's a pretty good deal for a $30 controller that completely works out of the box with well, not out of the box, but with a few modifications with the iOS device. And all the keys are functioning just as you would expect on any MFI controller. No issues at all. I would strongly recommend this controller, especially if you have a lot of MFI games on the iOS platform. Yep. So there you have it. What else do I have to say about the Ipega 9025? Besides the little bit of the dead zone issues on the analogs, it's a good controller. For $30, really good. You could wait for the game grip, which would also be a good buy. But as it is, this controller is going to work fine for most of your gaming needs, and even if you're a hardcore gamer, it should work fine. It does work on Windows as well, as long as you use a program called X360CE. All the keys get detected and you can play your PC games with it. For game streaming with Steam, in-home streaming, I wasn't able to use it because X360 doesn't work with Steam. So unless somebody finds a way how to do that, you know, in the future, I can take a look into it. So this is the Ipega 9023. If you like the video, go ahead and like it. If you dislike it, go ahead and dislike it. I would love to hear your comments and opinions or any questions you want answered. And as always, thank you for watching.